ReverendCrystalCox here. It's 8/8. It's Lionsgate. Positive change. That's what we're expecting, right? Benevolent change, as they say. I turned on Crown Live channel the other day, and I only heard one sentence. It was expect benevolent change, right? I love spiritual information. You know, you've watched my videos. This video is a bit of a rant and a bit of a fucking Mandela Effect, right? I call it a quantum effect. It's a shift. I like to be like positive. But the thing is that it's like we're building a castle of sand in our hand every day or every hour. It's just, I mean, there's visible timeline changes so much now that it's like, why bother, right? But it's moved way past why bother. It's like trying to grab a moving train. You just sit back. So we're just, the guidance, the spiritual guidance is just sit back and relax, right? Just watch your movies and smoke your doobs and read your books and talk to your friends and just be in joy. But that collective, it keeps coming at you, come in, right? And you want change, but you don't want change every second of every day, right? So those of you who see the timeline shifts, it's frickin' trippy, right? I feel, it's not a feeling of I feel like I don't belong, right? I'm sociable, like there's tons of things to do. It's not like I can't fit in with the humans, but I don't enjoy it, I don't prefer it. I just can't even pretend that I enjoy a bunch of squalor and memes at the park, right? Or standing in line for an ice cream cone when I can get one out of the refrigerator. I just, the youngins, I guess they want to do that, right? But when I realized that I moved to a land where the color of the sun had changed, and the Bible doesn't say lion and lamb anymore, and there's hundreds of supernatural Bible changes. I refuse to be negative in a way of saying it's evil and it's all this stuff. I align with the information that says we see it because our chakras are more aligned. We're more awake. We're at a different frequency. It's literally like a radio. You tune into the rock station, you hear the rock station. You don't tune into the rock station and then hear the classical station, right? And we see what we tune into, and I get it, but sometimes I really frustrate at, yes, I'm creating and projecting my reality, okay? And I learn how more and more every freaking day, right? It's been how many years since I've known the Mandela Effect, right? It's like enough already, right? And now it appears to be getting more chokehold, right? With the way that things are going in the world, which we aren't allowed to talk about on YouTube. How can tech companies censor the president and censor the truth or censor any sort of, right, you'd wonder, but I have been sharing information on cancer cures for decades, okay? I've been shut down by the FDA many times, okay? They won't hear it. You gotta have their fake, phony, chemically man-made bleh. The fact that that I hear people at the store that people gotta get a job, and they gotta do something meaningful. Meaningful to who? The restaurants, they don't have any help, so they can close. So what? If they can't do it as a family business, if they can't do it, don't have a restaurant. Right? Don't have a restaurant based totally on slave labor. Right? There's so many solutions to all of it, and I'm like so sick of hearing that, they gotta get back to work, from people who, they completely looked away at everything. Remember when Trump, or even, Bush, Obama, any one of the presidents, right? They say something and stocks go up or they go down. People make zillions, right? In minutes. Okay? People make it on selling loans. I got a loan offer, I think it was from Amazon in the UK, for 39%. Right? And they're getting all the money right now, and the small business is going down where the government elites are buying all the buildings, right? That's what's happening in the area I'm in. I don't so much feel sad or depressed or, but it's like everything's gray and void, right? I love what I love, and I love the movies I love, and my own writing. I love making videos for myself. I don't care who watches them. They're markers for myself. I lost a 20-year Facebook account. I lost a 20-year YouTube account. I don't give a fuck, right? You know, it's for me, because odds are they're going to be deleted anyway, because we live in a dictatorship, right? We are not free. I didn't feel like we were free in my early 20s when I first discovered that the cures for cancer and there's a cure for everything, and they suppress it. And you go in the waiting room, they want to cut things out and radiate things, and I'm like, but these people over here cured themselves of cancer. Oh, no, and don't talk about that, that's illegal. Turns out that's a free speech right? So much money to the medical system and the insurance system, and these people that tell you that you need to go back to work and get off of unemployment, okay, they're supporting these medical companies that are making billions of dollars off of keeping you sick, and they have been forever. And I know people who have created cancer cures based on Harry Hoxsey or SEAC or the stuff that's been around forever, dendritic cell therapy. Want to know more about cancer? ReverendCrystalCox at gmail.com. We'll send you some information. It's always been curable. Okay, black salve, but they don't want you to do, not only do they not want you to know, but when you make these, the friend I was telling you about, they went in through the post office, they could arrest people, and they could go into your lab or your store or whatever, and just throw everything around upside down, completely harass you. So they can make something that's man-made, and people line up for it. We've gotten so far away from God, from Goddess, from natural law, from ancient healing, from the land. I mean, but we're in the in-between, which is ridiculous, archaic. You know, medicine is just bullshickery, right? There's a frequency to cure everything. There's thoughts. There's energy healing. There's plant medicine. There's homeopathy. Okay, their shit causes more pain, and I frustrate that people don't know this. Okay, we now know that we're creating reality. So what? Those of us who've shifted, I get people are like, well, you know, maybe the reality I shifted from wouldn't have had this that's going on now. Well, yeah, this needs to happen to awaken people. But in the meantime, you know, I mean, if I was a 8-foot tall alien that spoke a whole different language, because, you know, aliens do, then maybe it would seem more right to me, right? Or even in this, and I landed in a colony on some planet where everybody looks different. Okay, instead of shifting to a reality that's similar to yours, but people are different, right? And I'm 50 now, but I was probably the same in my 20s. I'm not interested in all the things that other people are interested in. You know, and they're just busy running here and there, and what they find fun and relaxing and recreate is just not a thing to me. And I really find that I keep telling myself, well, I don't have the energy to do that. Well, I don't have the energy to do that. But then I'll get excited about something and I'll have the energy to do it for like 5 hours. Won't even know I'm doing it. And so now it's just Spirit showing me focus on my curiosities, focus on what's fun for me, which is these videos are fun for me, for myself. You know, I don't really expect anybody to watch them. And who knows, I might slip up and say the wrong thing. I just posted a video on Facebook that I put on Ramble about, you know, the things you're not allowed to talk about. It was seconds. And they put some sort of a warning on it for vaccine information, right? The video, I didn't have that in the title, I didn't have that in the frame. How did they scan that video that fast for that word? Well, they did, and I said it. So, we're not free, right? And I always said that before, you're not free. Your cures are oppressed, you know, your air's been poisoned. I get now that it's getting cleaned up, okay? That's lovely. People that, they don't care that billions and billions of dollars go to other countries, okay? Right now, we have a whole bunch of people coming into the southern border. They don't have our same rules and restrictions, and they don't sleep in the streets like we do. Okay. Meanwhile, as of tomorrow, our northern border here in Canada is opening up again for non-essential travel when we're allegedly in some sort of a shitstorm. it's all chaos and crazy making. It's kind of chaos magic, right? And there's a lot of beautiful things happening, and I trust that. But it's not fun for me, right? The stores, my energy is so big. I walk down aisles of stores, I just knock things off, right? Or I feel like I just come into this body, like maybe I'm a walking in this body, and I can't. My energy feels so big that I kind of move around and things move around with me. It's like I'm, and I've notable, incredibly profound timeline shifts every day, where you're like, what? Like where somebody will talk in depth one day about something they're into or interested in, or just really just, right? And the next day, completely the opposite, and not only did they never say it, never believed it. Or stores that have never been open on Sundays or Saturdays are like, oh, we've always been, like since the beginning of time, right? We got, with the Mandela Effect, of course, we got tons of brand names and tons of songs, and we got astrology and blah, blah. We don't know any of that stuff was real anyway, and there's no such thing as real, and we're holograms, or we live in a matrix, and blah, 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 blah. Well, meanwhile, now fucking what? Okay? We still have body pain. We still have teeth that need pulled. We still have food that we have to go buy. Many still have kids. You still have to plod along in your life and find that spot to have joy and have fun, right? While reality's changing all the time and you're in some sort of a matrix and some sort of a game, while you're looking for signs and synchronicities to get out. Okay, so Spirit keeps showing me, just do what's fun, right? Do what's fun. But so I do that. But then you're just like, I'm so fucking done here, right? I'm so done here. And Spirit's like, well, just ignore what they're doing and create this other step. Okay, well, give me the resources to create this other step. Shift me. We're not quite ready. We've shifted. We're right now, those of us who can see everything that's going on, the confuckery, I call it, we just have to just let the focus become clear, right? And just heal the body and the mind and just be, which is so hard. It's hard to just be, and especially when you know that you've shifted reality, right? I mean, how bizarre is it that we shifted realities? Like, I go with it years and years and positive, and this is how you change timelines, and this is, but I haven't fucking done it. I haven't visually just been able to consciously switch to something. I mean, I can keep focusing on it, and I see things that come into play of my highest and best, and that's lovely. But then all of a sudden, you meet people that know, people that astral travel, people that bilocate, people that, people that are consciously aware of doing these things. And I am, like, I went for a beautiful, beautiful drive today, and it's beautiful, but I usually, every time I feel it in my heart, and I feel this calm and this energy, and today I didn't feel it. It was really like watching a great, beautiful movie, but, it's like, this is just not it. This is not it. And if your highest excitement is just, watching movies, and you're like, oh, I should go do this, or I should go do that. I mean, where do you, force yourself, and where do you, I've counseled many people on the Mandela Effect, basically in counseling to be true to yourself, mind your timeline by, just following what you prefer and blah, 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 blah. But, oh my God, right? The world's going fucking nuts now. And so, it always has been. Like I said, cures have always been illegal. Oppression, people always suppress it. Oh, you're on welfare to feed your kids, right? Well, meanwhile, they don't care that billions go to other countries, right? They don't care that billions are wasted for politicians, or that we don't need politicians. Okay? They just police each other in guilt and shame and trauma and program, blah, blah, blah. So what's going on the national scale now is purging all of that. So, just talking and having fun and letting the energy come through me. But, I don't feel like engaging with any other energies, hanging out with people, this whole political, this whole stuff that's going on now. It's like, I know my truth. I don't need people. And I just felt so alien today. I mean, like, oh, this is my body. Okay, yes, this is me. I'm human. I'm walking around. But people are just kind of just plodding along. It's like, with what's going on and on and on. And so The guidance is just to turn away from it and have fun and have joy. Well, I believe in the power of joy. I believe in joy. I believe it exists out there somewhere. But I don't really feel the proverbial joy. I enjoy things. I love to laugh. I love a good meal. I love studying spiritual stuff. But if I sit down and go, well, why bother? What's the deal? What's the purpose? Who cares? Oh, well, you came here to raise the vibration of the earth. Well, you about done yet? Right? And because it's quantum, because we never have done this before, so Earth went through this scenario, and they could read it on the quantum ball, and then we hit to the end of the line in the end of 2012, and now it's like kind of all made up as we go based on the human collective and thought. So I realize that we don't know when things are going to shift more dramatically as the sleeping beast awakens, which is all of the people that are hypnotized and zomnified by all of these overlords that they think they need. I mean, the logic is just not kicking in. It's mass hysteria, mass hypnosis. And then on top of that, if you can see that you have moved from land of yellow sun to land of white sun, right? You know, like for some people, the Bernstein Bear is very profound, but even a conversation you had yesterday or the other day, for someone to say, not only did they say they didn't say it, but the facts surrounding are totally different. So you've entered another reality, okay? It's almost dizzy now. It's almost like, oh, I'm going to, file some sort of a claim against the Mandela Effect gods for whiplash, right? Timeline. Oh, so you really are being trained to be in that quantum moment. Because the facts don't exist. There's only subjective perspective, right? And what you do know is, okay, I'm on solid ground. Boom, it's gone, right? Just like a game, just like a video game. So you might know this person, okay, well, they're that, and maybe they're vegan, and maybe they're purpose. Okay. So we kind of know people by their politics and their diet and their preferences and where they went to school. We know certain things about them, and that's kind of where we place them. Okay, and if that changes every day or every week, and right now, with some people, it's changing every week or every month. It's crazy making. It's mass gaslighting on top of all the other mass gaslighting. And so we want to find sinner, right? I get fucking tired. Okay, I found my sinner again. I'm calm. No, fuck that. I just want to fucking have fun. Okay? But I can't lighten up enough to have fun, right? There's just so much, and you feel it all. And today, I went to the beach and stuff, and the mountains were beautiful, and there was just this feeling of stress. It was almost like they were actors in a play, right? They're acting like they're enjoying the beach, but not so much. And you see the lovebirds, and that's nice. That's different. There's more people that seem to be in love. So you got either people got closer together or further apart. But it's just it's crazy making, and it's disheartening sometimes when reality shifts day to day, when your basis for reality and facts and your foundation for that day shifts dramatically by the next day or even a few hours, or some people lose things. They're shifting in and out of reality so much, but this stuff on this mass scale, it's like people, I don't know, it's just these subtle shifts in thought or in belief or in focus are just bringing in new energies that are overriding the old so dramatically, where it's like, yeah, no, I didn't say that. And not just like from the old days where you're like, well, I didn't remember it said that, or we'll agree to disagree, right? It's entirely different worlds, different backgrounds, different places they work, different things about, and so with that kind of reality shift, staying positive is a challenge some days. And so then Spirit guides me to be talking to the power of the living God. And when I say that, and I say this, and it's fun, right? And it's like, each time you think we're there, we're not there. And there is no there, right? Because it's the forever now. And we're creating what we want right now for this. I'm so far from it, right? I was already out of linear time, out of the mainstream working system. But the fact that just to come out of that and lived in a car for 7 years, and now it's like people still drive cars, people still believe in Western medicine, people still, the real estate industry, the jobs, the everything's the same in essence, and they still want that, and they want to get back to their normal on that. What? I'm looking at the sleep out of my eyes, and I'm like, look at it on the mountaintop for what? 1,000 years, you come down, the humans are doing the same. And that's the story that the the channeled information, where they try to get you to get rid of it. You see Keanu Reeves in that, like taking a measurement of planet Earth, right? And that's what we had to do, get over 51%, some sort of a measurement read to get to the next level. So they're like, well, how they doing now? Like from the Dark Ages or whatever. So they're like, give them another 1,000 years, right? Because humans were having such trouble getting out of the darkness. And those of us who are light workers who came here to help raise the vibration, right? But, and I guess we're here, this is our job, we're here working, we don't necessarily, we can be serious, we don't need to, just have fun or what even fun is. We get to unwind all the trauma of our ancestors, right? And we get the challenge of will we let people keep abusing us or keep gaslighting us, or we'll respect ourselves, and we get to go over it and over and over, and then we're all squeaky clean, we get to go to the next timeline. I mean, right? And it's like this whole world's emerged, and it's so weird, like the youngins, which, like I said, I'm 50, the ones that are even like 34, 35, it's a whole different world. The way they live, what they know, their background, their TV references, their sayings. I just totally, I feel like I'm, especially when I'm talking to people that are younger than me, like I'm in a foreign land, right? And the Mandela Effect can really be depressing to some people. And they try to pretend they don't know it, or they're like, just, okay, yep, that's interesting trivia, but if I really grasp that I'm moving through time portals every minute of every day, and reality's completely shifted, I'll lose it, right? So, because like if you put something somewhere one day, and the next day it's not there because you moved to a timeline where you put it somewhere different. People find things the craziest place, right? Way, way different from anywhere they would have sat it. And, and when you're glitching in and out, sometimes that can happen fast. But these are more not really glitches, but actual timeline shifts. And so people are like, well, is it better for me or is it a worse timeline? Well, I'm under the understanding we can't go to a lower frequency, right? That we can't get a worse per se. But, anyway, the Mandela Effect, which I call a quantum effect, shifting in timeline. I've studied so much in depth about it and talked to so many people over 6 years. And so what? And now people are like, well, what's your theory? I don't have a theory. I'd always say I don't have a theory. I know. And I pretty much do know what it is. But that doesn't mean I know how to get out of the fucking maze. And Spirit's telling me now, in these series I'm doing of creating reality tips, being present now and how to shift to this next stage. And then the one time I heard this channeling from Cryon, it's like, once we're there, once everybody's awake, then it's going to be like 30 years. Because we need people to die off, right? Because the decades and the generations and right? So the newbies are going to bring it in. Well, yeah, so then why did we spend our whole lives being the light workers to usher it in, okay? And then we're now helping the new humans to transition. We're the death doulas, but we're the life doulas, What are the baby doulas called? The midwife. So we're helping the new humans be the new humans and understanding who they are and their new powers. While at the same time, we keep practicing with our own supernatural powers that we might have been discouraged at long ago, and working on creating reality, deliberately astral traveling, using the parameters and the skills we have, and I'm just finding joy. But I tend to make myself do things that I think might be healthier for me when I might just prefer to just not do it, any of it. And I feeling like a foreigner, it, like you don't know the language, and I mean, I get along just fine, but I just notice some days, and some days it's different. Some days I'm in sync with everybody, like in the store, the places I go. But today I felt like a clunk, right? Like each person's their own kind of island in energy, and they didn't make sense to me. I mean, even what they were wearing, and the fact that people were still wearing those types of things, and people's health, and somebody told me today, like my age, I bought something that I showed my ID, and they're like, well, you've done really good. I'm like, what? Like, because I don't look like an old fossil head. This is 50 should look like this, and youthing, and you're going to be youthing more and more and more, and we're going to move to timelines with that, right? But then I remember, like, my grandma, when my grandma was 50, right? She looked so old. She died at 62, and just so old. Back then I thought 50 was just old, like 1 foot in the grave, on a walker, needs a bed to absorb because they can't hold their bladder, just all gray and wrinkly and hunched up. Well, you get the point. And so they're like, well, you're doing really good. And I'm like, sometimes I have to go, because I always wondered, what was it going to be like, right, when I turned 50? Well, I find I replay things, right? Like I'm replaying the greatest hits, right? But not like I'm lamenting or thinking about past memories or woulda, coulda, shoulda, blah, blah, blah. I just have these images of certain events that happen. Like they say, you play your life before you die. So I have those. I have for the last 6 years, or at least the last 4, where there's like this running movie of stuff. And then next time it's different and different. It's like it's refining it. I don't even remember. I don't know what any of it's about. I know I'm having a profound experience with visions of what I see, what I know within myself, my own personal inner world. But when I go out among others, I stand out, right? I'm like this pillar of, like people draw to me, people talk to me, they're all, and I'm just beaming light, and I think that's beautiful. But I just feel like a stiff board, with a light on the end, and I'm not really going with their child. Whereas today I laughed I heard these kids talking there waiting for ice cream, and the kid goes, he said, I'm so glad that my tooth, like his tooth was fixed or whatever, maybe so he can have ice cream or whatever. But he said that the week before he had ate a sandwich and he had lost it in his mouth. And it was so funny, right? Because to me it's like, I just thought that was hysterical. Like, I've lost my sandwich in my mouth. Right? It was just there. I've lost it. I can't find it. I retraced my steps. And clearly later he meant that he lost the tooth. But I just thought it was pretty funny that he lost his sandwich in his mouth. And so, but he was very impatient at, there was this energy, the kids today, and just this pent up, and now what's going on next in the world? Like, people asking themselves, who rules you? I mean, I asked myself at 16. I mean, I was never into needing a ruler, or, and I remember when I first had access to the internet,